What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Blazers Uprise Live. This is going to be a little bit scuffed, but we are running up against the clock here. I had some computer troubles trying to get these graphics put together and everything. Eric couldn't go live at 4, so ended up the stream got delayed, and then Eric couldn't make it, but he did give me his picks against the spread picks. Reese won't be in chat. He gave me his, and then hopefully Westbrick is in here. Trevin's in here right now. We are just going to... Oh, I thought you said you couldn't, Eric. I'm down to bring you on right now if you're ready. I'll call you. You I was muted. I think I don't know what's going on right now. Let's just hop into the records, and then let's hop into the games. So we got some good looking records for chat. 52 and 39. I'm sitting at 48, 43. Eric is at 47, 44. All of us were between 2 and 4 and 4 and 2 on last Thursday, so not much separation gained from that. Double downs. Everybody won theirs last Thursday except for Eric and Westbrick. So we finally got some people above 500 on the double downs. Let's start into the games since these are starting right now. The first game is going to be Indiana versus Chicago. I had my webcam set up, so let's see if I do this and I do that, and then I do that. There we go. So you got Indiana versus Chicago. Indiana is a 4.5 point favorite. This game is tipping off about right now. I am going to roll with Indiana. I think they are the better team. I think they're the better coach team. And I am comfortable rolling with the Pacers here.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Pacers. They have a good front court, and the Bulls basically have no one in their front court right now. So,
all right, I'm going to count on you to tell me who Reese is going with. This one, he didn't pick, so I'm flipping a coin for him.
Yeah.
Heads is home. It went with heads. He is also going to go with the Pacers.
Okay.
Adapt on the fly. I need to pull up stream on my phone so I can see who picked what.
Oh, okay, he just responded. So he's picking the Pacers, and I got his double down now.
Okay, cool. The coin didn't lie.
Reese had his power out, so he didn't think he would have enough juice by this time to...
Got you. Yeah, everybody's dealing with that down in Portland. I've been fine. Everything's scuffed today, but we adapt on the fly. All right. Is Westbrick in here?
I was in Westbrick.
Shoot. Should we coin flip for him, or should we just leave these picks blank? Because here's the thing. Here's how we could make it up, make his record even. If he doesn't pick these 2 games, we could have him pick 2 games on like a Saturday. I feel like that's probably the best way to do it if he's not in here. Trevin is going with the Pacers. We don't have our chat counter either. So, Pacers. 11-4 Pacers for chat.
Okay.
I guess I am the counter. So there we go. Those are chat picks. Second game, and I'm going to have to do this with Every single one. There we go. Look at that. That was quick. You got Washington going against Houston. This is John Wall's first game back in the nation's capital as a member of an opposing team. The Wizards are 7-17. Rockets have been struggling. They've lost 5 straight. Washington is actually a favorite in this one. I feel like that's pretty rare to say. They are a 1.5-point favorite. I am going to go with Houston. I think John Wall has a big game. I think I think Houston is the better team. I'm just going to take Houston with the 1 point advantage. This is basically a toss-up spread.
Yeah, Westbrook's here now. He just messaged me. So.
Okay, cool. What did he pick for the last game?
You got to pick Bulls, Pacers, and the spread is 4.5. Westbrook
for Indiana.
Yeah, for Indiana. I'm taking the Wizards in this one. Right. Yeah, I do not like the way the Rockets have been playing the last week or so without Christian Wood, and so I'm going to take the Wizards reluctantly.
I feel like I'm regretting this pick already.
Clean sweep for the Pacers in the first.
All right, cool. I'm going to go back and just add it in. There we go. Cool. And now, Reese, if you don't have enough juice in your phone or whatever, we have all your other picks. So don't worry about it. What was Reese's pick for this?
Reese picked the Wizards as well.
All right. Westbrook's picking the Wizards. Keep forgetting who the home and away team is. Chat's looks like they're going to end up going with the Wizards. It's 9-5 so far. Might be made it 10-5 Wizards. Am I really going to be out on an island alone with this one? I feel like this is a bad island to be on. So Trevin went Wizards, Westbrook. Oh no, I filled in Westbrook. And no, it was Trevin too. Dang, I'm out alone on an island. I feel like this might be the first time this year. I don't know how I feel about this, but we'll see. We'll see. Definitely not doubling down on Houston.
Oh, come on, man.
Nah, I can't do it. Third game we got, and I'm going to have to do this with every single one, but I got it down, I think. Wait. Dang, I don't know where my other weapon... There it is. Third game, you got New York versus Atlanta. Atlanta is a 1.5-point favorite. This game's tipping off at 4:30. The Knicks have been hovering around 500. The Hawks have been a bit banged up. This is a hard game to pick. I'm not picking this one first.
I'm taking the Knicks. I know home court advantage isn't a thing, but when it's crappy teams and you're getting points at home, I'll just take that team in this scenario, I guess. And the Hawks have been playing like crap lately.
Yeah, solid strat.
Reese is actually going against me. He's taking the Hawks, and that's his double down pick as well.
That's his double down. Okay, Reese, I see you. I'm going to take the Knicks. I think Tom Thibodeau will be able to game plan against Trae Young pretty well. And if you slow down Trae Young, you pretty much stop that team, in my opinion. So the Knicks, man, I mean, they play good defense. They're young, they're scrappy, they're well coached defensively. I am counting on them being able to slow down Trae Young, and then the Hawks struggling from there on out because they've been without some players and John Collins' name is on the trade block. I don't know. It's just a weird situation there in Atlanta in terms of kind of their roster and who they have available and the situation around some of those guys. So I'm going Knicks. Westbrook's going Atlanta.
Chat's going 11-4 Knicks.
And then Trevin is going
Knicks as well.
Knicks. All right. So you got Reese and Westbrook going for the Hawks, and then everybody else is going for the Knicks. Let me try and fix the cameras before I switch to it. No, I'm not going to do that. We're just going to adjust on the fly. You got Utah, who's been on fire. Absolutely on fire. 22-5 record for the Utah Jazz. Going up against the 76ers, who have a good record in their own right, but have been kind of struggling as of late. The Sixers are at 18-9. Utah's a 7-point favorite. This game's tipping off at 6 p.m. I'm gonna make this pick last.
I'm going to take the Jazz. Obviously, they're playing well. The 76ers have not played well in their last few games. So I'm going to just roll with the hot team, even though 7 points is kind of a lot between two relatively good teams.
Mm-hmm. Are there any injuries to note of this one potentially, chat?
I don't think there's any major ones that I've seen. But yeah.
Chuck says it's also a home game and the Jazz Arena is packed somehow during COVID. Well, it's Utah.
Reese has taken the 76ers in this one.
This is a hard spread to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Westbrook's going Sixers.
Chuck says Conley is still out.
Embiid is questionable. I'm going to take the Jazz. I just think that's the safest pick here. Trevin said the Jazz as well, and then we'll get chats. (9-6) for the Jazz for chat. So Reese and Westbrook, once again, out on an island by themselves. Good luck to those guys. Let's move on to the next game. 5th out of 7, you got the Clippers taking on the Heat. And bang. Bang. Miami's a 3-point favorite on the road. I was surprised at that. I assume there's some injury situation with the Clippers.
Yeah, Paul George has missed the last 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Kawhi's not playing either.
Kawhi's not playing either.
Are you sure about that? I thought I just saw something that he was playing tonight.
I can search it. Actually, I can't search it because this is full screen. So that would explain the spread, though, if Kawhi's out. In that case, I'm taking the Heat. Without Kawhi, without PG, I mean, they got Lou Williams, I guess. They got Ibaka. I hope the Heat win this game. I'm going to roll with Miami.
Yeah, I originally was going to take the Clippers, but that was before I knew those guys were both out. So yeah, I'm taking the Heat as well.
I feel like this might be... I feel like we barely ever pick on Clippers games. I feel like they never play Monday or Thursday.
Well, we did. Like 2 weeks ago, we did when when George and Leonard were both out. And yeah, I think it was against the Heat, actually. And yeah, they hung tough, and then they lost at the end, I think.
Yeah, I just feel like when I was making this graphic, I was like, I feel like I barely made a Clippers graphic this year.
Oh, yeah. I just saw the fantasy alert. Kawhi Leonard, Patrick Beverly, Paul George, all out Monday night.
Yeah. Looks like we got Trevin going Heat. This might be a clean sweep. We'll see if somebody's feeling bold. Westbrook and Reese are the boldest here, so...
I think Reese is going Heat, so no boldness this time.
Chat is going Heat. Those first 3 Heat votes came in before we talked about the injuries.
That'll probably end up being their double down.
Yeah.
So far.
And then Westbrook is also picking the Heat, so you got a clean sweep here with the Miami Heat. Let's move on to game number 6, which is going to be... Whoa, there's no cameras here. What in the world? Okay, there we go. There we go. Cool. Brooklyn is a 4.5-point favorite on the road in Sacramento, going up against the Kings. Don't really know what the injury situation is for either of these teams.
Durant is out for at least 2 games.
Okay.
Not sure the Kings' injury situation, though.
It feels like with Brooklyn, they never have their full big 3. There's always one of those guys out. So yeah, I'm always just counting on them having 2 of those guys. I am going to... They still got Harden. They still got Kyrie. I'm gonna take the Nets.
I'm also taking the Nets, and this is going to be my double down.
All right. Wait.
I just think Harden's going to have a big game for some reason.
I mean, you're talking about a Sacramento Kings defense, which is very, very bad. Their defense is worse than ours, I think. So, what's up, Reese? Westbrook is going Kings.
Hey, Reese.
Trevin is going Nets.
Reese is taking the Kings if he wants to stick with that pick.
Chat is going Nets. Is it going to be Reese and Westbrook again? I mean, I assume he's going to stick with that pick. So you got Reese and Westbrook. Man, they're buddying up today, and we'll see how it goes for them.
And the chat's double down is the Heat -3 at the Clippers.
Well, we got one more game left.
Oh.
Yeah, you got Golden State and the Cavaliers. You got a rematch of many NBA Finals past. Both these teams are not like their past teams, though. But Golden State is a 9.5-point favorite against Cleveland at home. Huge spread. I'm gonna pick last.
I'm going to take the Cavs just because I took the Warriors with like a 7-point spread or something like that the other day against the depleted Magic, and they couldn't cover that spread. So I'm just going to take the Cavs and the points, even though the Cavs have been playing like absolute garbage too.
I'm also taking the Cavs. Trevin's taking the Warriors.
And in case you missed it, the Cavs have now decided to
trade Andre
Drummond and not play him at all until they reach some sort of trade or agreement on a buyout.
They got Jared Allen. I'm not sure that makes them worse than Andre Drummond.
Yeah. JaVale McGee, yeah.
What was Reese's pick for this one?
Reese picked the Cavs. Trevin is taking the Warriors. All right.
ENGPC says Warriors WTF. I mean, the Warriors have to win by double digits for you guys to win this one if you pick Golden State. So, I mean, I don't think it's obvious. Like,
shot was 8-7.
8-7 for.
Yep.
For who?
The Cavs.
Cavs.
And Westbrook is also going with the Cavs. So Trevin on an island. That's rare.
I don't think we got a single split vote today. So let's move on to the double downs.
And then just for the record, the Pistons are also doing the same with Blake Griffin. They're just going to sit him. But that makes a lot less sense than what the Cavs are doing.
So I don't have Eric's camera set up for this one, so I'll just have mine. Yeah, we'll be fine.
My double downs the Nets. Chat is the Heat. Reese, if he still wants to stick with it, said Hawks.
All right, Nets, Reese.
Trevin also says Heat.
That Hawks game already started, so I'm making Reese stick with it.
Okay.
So chat was Heat. All right, I'm filling them in here. Miami.
Westbrook's doubling down on the Cavs. Oh, and then he deleted it. No, man. Westbrook, come on.
Double down Blazers. They're not playing, bro. Oh, wait. Hold on. There we go. Trevin is doubling down on the Heat.
So you're the only double down left.
Yeah, I gotta think, man. I'm going to I don't know. I'm like tempted to double down on the Jazz, hoping Embiid doesn't play. but I'm gonna double down on the Heat as well.
Okay. 3 double downs on the Heat.
Yep. Eric's going Nets, Reese going Hawks, Westbrook's going Cavs. So that is picks against the spread. We will we'll see how we do. It's been fun the past couple of times. We're doing better, so it's more fun. It's more enjoyable when we're doing better. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So anyway, that concludes that. I wanted to talk about in this stream, or what's your time status for this stream? You dip it out here in a sec. Or?
I only have a couple minutes, but I have some trade-related Blazer news if you want that real quick.
Oh, yeah, we can discuss that for 2 minutes. I'm down. Let's do it.
So, apparently, the Blazers are interested in Andre Drummond, according to Sam Amico.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, it's completely false.
Yes, it's so obviously
I don't buy
false.
it for a second. First of all, if we wanted Andre Drummond for like $28 million, we would have just re-signed Whiteside for the minimum. And Mike B, thanks, man. Ouch. What did I say? I wasn't even giving an opinion piece. So anyway,
what did he say?
He said I'm a B word.
Whoa, why you saying that, man?
I don't know.
That's a little extra.
Maybe because I have to leave. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry, I couldn't entertain you for a while. But
if anything, it was my fault or my computer's fault. Blame my computer.
So and then yeah, there's also people are like, oh, trade for Blake Griffin, blah blah blah. So let me just make this clear. We'd have to trade for Andre Drummond. We'd most likely have to trade 2 of Hood, Nurk, Rocco, or Derek Jones just to even get the salaries close enough. And then for Blake Griffin, you have to trade 3 out of those 4 guys to get them. I don't see either of those scenarios happening. I don't know why Olshey would even bother calling about it unless his call was to, because there's rumors that Toronto and Cleveland were close on a deal for Drummond, which doesn't make sense either, but it was like Norman Powell and Aaron Baines, and it would have to be like another contract or something. So my guess is if he did call about Drummond, it wasn't for Drummond. It was before you sign off on a deal, let's see if you don't want the pieces coming back, maybe we can work out a 3-way trade and get involved in that somehow. But yeah, I seriously doubt we are looking at any player over $20 million unless it is an upgrade over CJ and we're looking to deal CJ for that player.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, they got Canner and they'll have Nurkic come back. Why would they want Drummond?
I don't know.
Like maybe if they didn't have Cantor, I guess, but yeah. Like even if he got bought out, the Blazers are not going to have any interest in Drummond. It doesn't make any sense. He'd be our 3rd best center, right. And none of those centers can play together at the same time. It doesn't make sense.
Especially at that price tag too. Like I said,
yeah,
might as well just trade for
That's
a Whiteside backer. Like, dude, because we could take on his salary for like nothing right now, and I'm sure the Kings don't care about him anymore. I mean, he's barely playing, so I'd rather just get him for free if that's our goal, or we need a center or whatever. But I'd much rather just sign like Scoular and someone that's out there on the free agent market, right?
Exactly.
But the other thing is, like, it just doesn't make sense to trade a bunch of guys because we have to sign. We only have 14 roster spots filled. We have to sign how many ever players we trade. So if we do a 3 or 4 for 1, we'd have to sign 3 guys to make up for that depth. And this reminds me of 2 years ago. Nurk's playing great pre-injury. And there's rumors we're trying to trade for Marc Gasol. Like, that didn't make any sense at that time. Mm-hmm. This seems like the exact same thing to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, man. And Andre Drummond would not be a good fit. I honestly think Kenner is a better player than him. So, yeah, I mean, you're gonna hear some trade stuff. You just gotta think it through. Like, It doesn't make any sense before you even get into the salary. But we're not trading for a high salary player this year. And it's just not happening.
This is what happens. So you have national guys. They like, oh, Nurkic is hurt. He's still out for a while. oh, Drummond's available. The Blazers would definitely be interested in Drummond. I'm just going to assume and type that I'm hearing that the Blazers are interested in Drummond. And then there's no way to like fact check him on it by like us, you know? So, but they're not locked into the situation. They probably don't realize that Cantor's playing extremely well and we don't really need a center making $28 million right now.
Yeah, as far as Blake Griffin goes, like he won't get traded anywhere. He'll get bought out. His production is not matching his contract. That dude is washed now at this point. I was high on him as a trade target when we started this channel. He has proven to be washed. He has declined rapidly, and his injuries aren't good. Honestly, even if he's bought out, I still wouldn't really target him.
Yeah, I mean, if we got him on a minimum contract, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Obviously, defensively, he doesn't really fit in with what we need, but offensively, he's one of the few guys, if healthy, which is a huge if, that can actually help us like beat double teams without changing our scheme much, you know? Because we know the scheme's not going to change, but he's someone you could give the ball to, and he can create some pass, offense. Yeah, but
it's
that's
just like,
the point. Yeah.
You look at things, he's like shooting under 37% from the field and under 32% from three. You know, I mean, just super, super inefficient and not a good defender. It's like the only positive he brings to the table is passing. Because for his position, too, he's a bad rebounder this year. He's playing 31 minutes a game and only averaging 5 rebounds per game.
Yeah.
So literally the only positive asset, just based on what he's done this year, that he brings to the table is passing. If he could be who he was in 2018-2019 when he was All-Star, who averaged 25 points per game, almost 8 rebounds, and over 5 assists per game, and shot 36% from 3 and 53% inside the arc. Like, that's like an all-around good player. But, like, everything has fallen off. Every aspect of his game has fallen off. And we're not just... It's not just athleticism, because that fell off and he adapted. But now, all his skill set has fallen off as well. And now he's just... I don't know. It's like... And I'm not a big Melo fan, but honestly, I don't even know if I'd rather have him instead of Melo if he's playing like this.
The only thing I say to that is, you know, sometimes you see that with Nick Batum this year, where you're on such a bad team that it's like hard to get up. I think if he was healthy enough to contribute, I think he would have a little bit of a resurgence with a new team, especially a playoff team. I don't know if he'd be willing to sign here, but like that's the kind of guy that's probably the best case scenario in like a buyout market for in terms of like highest upside if he did contribute to the team. But yeah, I understand both sides of it. The thing is though, so he still is under contract next year for almost $39 million. So if they bought him out, they would have to pay him right now, they would owe him $62 million over the rest of this year and next year. And the full $75 million would still count against their cap. So I don't see any way they would buy him out this year. Unless, I mean, we've seen the Pistons do stupid things like trade for Deadman and then stretch him out immediately and things like that. So, I mean, I guess it's not out of the realm of possibility that they stretch him, but you're talking about like, like close to $12 million on your books for the next 5
stretching him would
years.
Be the dumbest move possible. If they waive him and don't stretch him, I think it's fine because it's like, he counts against the salary books like as he would, you know, normally. And it's like he's not going to help that team accomplish anything in the next 2 years anyway, and they're not going to be able to get rid of him. So waiving him isn't really a big deal to me if they don't stretch it. But if they stretch it, man, like you don't want to be paying. You don't want to have $12 million against the salary cap 5 years from now because of Blake Griffin. They did that with Josh Smith. They shouldn't waive and stretch. They should probably just honestly waive him. And waive him normally and just take the huge lump for the rest of this year and next year, and then they can be done.
Yep. And the problem is, even if someone wanted to trade for him, his contract's so huge, and we've seen now that there's not many bad contracts left in the NBA. Honestly, if I'm Houston, I would call an offer John Wall for him straight up, just because John Wall makes like $47 million or something a season after next season, so he still has 2 additional years instead of 1, as just a way to clear John Wall's salary off my books and start your rebuild process around Christian Wood. But that's not like a basketball reason for doing it, it's pure CBA reasons, but something like that. But there's not a lot of big contracts like that. I don't think the Wizards would trade Westbrook for him. But other than that, there's not a lot of bad contracts left in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yep, all those 2016 contracts are gone, man.
Mm-hmm.
And the league looks a lot different now because of that. So,
and then the other trade rumor was that apparently several teams have been calling and monitoring Anthony Simons, and there's definitely teams that are piqued by his development and that he has some trade value. The problem is he only makes a little over $2 million, so it's really hard to think of a scenario where we trade him and not include another one of our rotational pieces to get someone that's better than those whatever guys we have to give up. So, yeah.
We have the young players to like potentially pull off like a blockbuster trade for a star, in my opinion. Like you look at Gary Trent Jr. the way he's playing and how young he is and his upside. You look at Anthony, you look at Nasir Little. Like that's a really good trio of young prospects. Like a phenomenal trio of young prospects. And what's crazy, you know, for all the people that love to hate on Olshey, all those guys were drafted 24th or later. And as prospects, they're great value, and that's in 2 drafts in a row, picking 24th or later. He got Gary Trent Jr., Anthony Simons, Nasir Little. That's just a phenomenal 2 years of drafting from Olshey. And we're not even talking about Zach. Zach doesn't really have any value right now, but we all know like what he could potentially be, and he was kind of our blue chip prospect like a year ago, and now it's like he's our 4th best young prospect. It's kind of crazy, and that's interesting to hear.
Yeah, but I don't expect Olshey to trade him like several people in the comments are saying. But it's just interesting to hear some rumors today regarding the Blazers, even though I don't necessarily buy most of them. Still kind of cool to just see their name being brought up. But I still expect no trades to really happen other than very minimal ones this season. And then for the record, anyone saying Giannis, Milwaukee can't trade him this year because he signed a supermax. So even if we wanted to trade him, we can't. And then Gary Trent's a free agent after this year, so then he'll be making a lot more money, so it changes the dynamic of it. But yeah, I doubt they would trade him, first of all, but second of all, they can't, even if they wanted to this season.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not expecting anything big this year. I'm not expecting much. We've barely talked about trades because of that. We're just not expecting much. So yeah, I kind of miss out on that and that speculation. But honestly, we've speculated all the time and then just been bummed out at the trade deadline. So this year going into it not expecting anything, it's like it'll be nice actually, you know.
We don't have to give a player away for nothing this year because we're under the cap. So
yeah,
nice.
It'll be nice. Like not expecting anything and not really being upset because I really like this roster. So I'm not gonna be too upset if we don't do anything, you know, because there's not much that's possible, and I'm happy with this roster. So it's gonna be a completely different mindset going into this year's deadline than it has been in previous years.
And the fact that we've had all these injuries and we haven't signed anyone, it's definitely because we're waiting for the buyout market and we're hoping someone that with more impactful than the guys we could sign right now will help us more in the playoffs versus maybe someone who could give us a little depth right now.
I'm still really hoping for Otto Porter Jr. because you always know, like the 2 starting forwards I always wanted were Otto Porter Jr. and Robert Covington, and we got Rocco. Otto Porter Jr. I think his defense has probably regressed a little bit, but you know maybe that's because he's playing on a bad team, not playing for winning teams. He's a phenomenal 3-point shooter and can put the ball on the ground a little bit. So if he's a guy that could that I definitely think will get bought out. He's playing for the Bulls, making $27 million. I don't think anybody's going to match that number in a trade. So I think he's going to be a buyout guy that would be very intriguing for us. Thing is, we have a lot of decent forwards, so would we even, like, what, we bring him in and then don't play Rodney Hood or what? Like,
yeah, I don't know. So Rodney Hood's already been ruled out for tomorrow night with this foot injury. I hope it's not anything serious. And then there was someone else already ruled out for. Giles is ruled out for tomorrow as well.
Rocco's going to be our backup center.
And then CJ was. So he quick clarified this today that CJ having a doctor's appointment tomorrow. It's just to check how it is healing. He is not close to playing.
Yeah, so, I mean, it might take him till after the All-Star break. We'll have to wait and see on that, but, I mean, we're surviving without him.
The other, this didn't have to do with the Blazers, but apparently the 76ers are interested in a point guard, and they mentioned both George Hill and DeLon Wright as possibilities they could be going after. Yeah. I think George Hill would be a really good fit for them.
Oh, he'd be a great fit because he can play the point, but he's like a good off-ball player. He could play off Simmons really well and knock down the three-ball defend. He'd be a great pickup for them. I liked what they did this past offseason, so I wouldn't be surprised if they found a way to go out and get him. He'd be a perfect fit there.
Yep. So. And with that, I'm out. Dame,
all right.
Dame should be MVP. Listen to Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on that conversation. I'll catch you tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Have a good night, everyone.
Yep, see you, man. So we're gonna preview the OKC game. We are going to talk about MVP discussion a little bit, and then we're gonna end the stream and go solo for a little bit. Stephen A. Smith went on a rant today about how he and other media guys don't give Dame enough attention. It was pretty cool to see. It was cool to see national media admit that Dame doesn't get enough attention, and you had Stephen A. Smith apologizing. It was very entertaining. It was something different. I've never really seen that a national media member say we don't give him enough attention. So I think he deserves. I think it's obvious that he deserves to be in the MVP race as much more than a guy like Luka. You know, Luka's had a fully healthy roster, and Dame has been missing guys, and Dame still has a better record. The Blazers still have a better record than the Mavericks. Just beat the Mavericks because of Dame. So I don't know. You weigh different things when you talk about MVP, right? Stats, is it the best player versus the most valuable player? You know, team success weighs into it. So people have different opinions on what the MVP should be, but I think when you look at Dame, he's having the team success right now, especially in a tough position. They're 16-10 without CJ and Nurkic. Statistically, he's been phenomenal. He's averaging 29 points per game, 7 assists. Like, those are MVP numbers. He's doing it efficiently as well. And he's doing it in a different way. And he touched on this. He had a quote on this. I don't remember the exact quote, but it was basically along the lines of he isn't, doesn't feel the need or isn't really trying to go out and score 50 like he was last year because he doesn't feel like he has to because he has other guys stepping up like Gary Trent Jr. and Anthony Simons, Carmelo, Enes Kanter has had some big offensive games. Like, he feels like he has enough guys there to step up and he's trying to empower them to do so to say, instead of just taking over games himself, because he definitely could. If he wanted to, he could probably be averaging an efficient 35 points per game right now. I mean, he's not that far off of it. He's averaging 29. But, and he said this in the article in which he was quoted in, if Gary Trent Jr. is hot, he's looking for him. He's trying to get him the ball and get him another shot, right? He's letting guys like Enes, if Enes feels like he has an advantage on the low post, he says he wants Enes to come to him and say so, and he will give Enes the ball. Things like that, that's good leadership, and that's good orchestration ability. It's a point guard making other players around him as good as possible, right? He's making the players around him better due to his leadership, due to his point guard play, due to his ability, all of it, right? And I feel like you got to factor that in, right? When people talk about MVP, they look at stats, they look at team record, right? But they don't, I feel like a lot of people don't factor in little things that should be factored in, like how Dame is kind of running this team and going about this season. I mean, you look at the way the Blazers are playing right now, he definitely deserves to be in the MVP race over a guy like Luka. Honestly, I'd put him over Steph right now. The Blazers are playing better basketball than Steph and the Warriors. I mean, it's still early in the season, so, there's not much separation. But, I mean, statistically, they're pretty much even in my eyes. I mean, I don't know, man. The narrative of overcoming adversity, dealing with the injuries, and still beating some decent teams. You know, they beat Dallas, a fully healthy Dallas team. They beat Philadelphia, a fully healthy Philadelphia team. It's impressive. So I definitely think he deserves to be in the conversation. Will he put up the stats to win it? I don't know. Probably not if he doesn't, if he keeps going about the season this way. Just because, the stats, the points per game, that type of stuff gets valued more than, a guy quietly making the players around him better. But overall, definitely deserves to be in the conversation. He's definitely been slept on this year, and I'm happy to see a national media member point out that he's been slept on by the national media. That was pretty cool to say or to see. So other than that, I don't know. Give me your thoughts in chat on the MVP conversation. I don't really have a rankings list or anything, but he definitely needs to stop being slept on for sure. I wouldn't put Embiid number one either. I don't know, and I wouldn't put Jokic up there. I don't know. I mean, like Jokic and Dame are in the same tier MVP wise to me, and so is Embiid, right? LeBron, people were saying LeBron, but it's like, I don't know. Here's the thing with LeBron, all right? He will be able to make his MVP case over the next 2 to 3 weeks because Anthony Davis is out for 2 to 3 weeks. So he won't have Anthony Davis, right? Can the Lakers still win a high number of games without Anthony Davis? We haven't really seen them play much without Anthony Davis since acquiring him, so if LeBron is the MVP, he should be able to carry this team, right? Just like Damian is kind of carrying this team, I mean, but you look at LeBron's numbers, they're not that impressive. He's averaging 25.5 points per game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, right? 8 rebounds, that's better than Dame, but LeBron's a lot bigger, and he's a forward. So, I mean, that don't take that into consideration. 25.5 points per game and 8 assists versus Dame's 29 and 7. I don't know, numbers-wise. Obviously, they're having a lot of team success, but they have Anthony Davis as well. So I think that's kind of the narrative that works against LeBron. He'll be able to dispel that narrative if he balls out and carries the Lakers to many wins without Anthony Davis over these next couple of weeks. But, I mean, Dame's been more efficient this season than LeBron, just based off true shooting percentage. About 62.5 to 59. Advantage Dame. So, MVP race is interesting this year. I feel like it's there's no clear-cut favorite right now. My phone is vibrating. Oh, okay. I'll fix that so y'all don't have to hear it. But yeah, Embiid's been balling out. But I definitely think Dame deserves to be in the conversation, and I think he should have a chance to maybe win it. I don't know. We got a back-to-back coming up Tuesday, Wednesday against two teams we should probably beat. That's OKC, New Orleans. OKC's a scrappy team. I don't want to overlook this team going in. I mean, you look at their roster and it's not impressive, and they might be playing without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So if they're not playing with him, right, they don't look like a good roster, but they were missing SGA last night, and they beat a full-strength Milwaukee Bucks team. So it's a team that plays well together, is well coached, really well coached. I think it is maybe the best coaching job in the league is going on there in OKC. Because you look at their roster, their talent, you would expect them to be worse than the Timberwolves are. They don't have much talent on that team at all, right? But they're 11-15, which that's not great. But for their standard going into the season, I think it is. They play scrappy. They defend. They have some decent defensive players. They have a couple of vets in George Hill and Al Horford who have been kind of the mentors in the locker room there. We didn't see either of those two vets the last time we played them, but Al Horford is going to play tomorrow, and he had a big game against the Bucks. Was flirting with a triple-double. But they won't have George Hill, and then SGA is questionable. Maladon is questionable. We're missing guys, of course, too. It's just going to come down to we got to play hard and we got to play the right way. We play hard and we play the right way, we win this game, right? But if they play harder than us, we could definitely lose this game. I don't want a letdown. After the stretch we've been on, four-game winning streak, won 6 out of 7, I don't want a letdown game here. You've beaten a couple good teams with Philadelphia and Dallas. And we've talked about this in the past. The Blazers will have a big win, and then the next game they'll lay an egg and have a complete letdown. They've been a little bit more consistent over the past 7 games, so I want to see that continue. I don't want that to end. I don't want us to kind of relapse back to having a major letdown after a good win on the road. So, a little nervous going into this game for that reason. I don't want to see us relapse. But overall, it's not even something that is going to be much of a game plan thing, right? We may need to make adjustments depending on what's happening within the game, but overall, it's going to come out to we got to play as hard as them because that's a team that plays really, really hard. Of course, then the game after you got New Orleans, which is I don't even know where to start with that team. That team's just a very confusing team. That team's kind of messy in terms of the way the roster is constructed. So, I'm not even going to really preview that. It's one game at a time right now. But hopefully we're back here Thursday on Blazers Uprise Live talking about winning 2 more games, being 18-10. 18-10 sounds great in terms of a record considering our situation. That sounds nice. And then you come home and play the Wizards. I would love to be 19-10. 18-11 would still be decent. I think the bare minimum should be win 2 out of the next 3 games against OKC, New Orleans, and Washington. All 3 of those teams are worse than us. Even with our injuries, all 3 of those teams are worse than us. So we're gonna see how that goes. Hopefully the Blazers can continue to play how they've been playing and defending the 3-point line. And OKC is a team that struggles with their 3-point shooting, but they shot a great clip against us the first time we played them. So it's gonna come down to us improving that aspect because they barely beat us. It wasn't like it was a blowout or anything. But I think we gave up 125 points to them in our first matchup. That shouldn't happen again, especially if we're playing the defense like we've played the past few games. Especially if we defend the 3-point line like how we have. Because that was kind of a fluky shooting game for them, but looking back on that game, I don't know how many of you remember that game, but we gave up open 3 after open 3 after open 3 to them. So if we can do a better job defending the 3-point line, it shouldn't be a game that we lose. It's really that simple. I'm going to actually look back at the stats sheet for that game. Apologize if ESPN autoplay ad plays. But let's go to Portland. Let's find the Thunder game that we lost. The final score was 125 to 122. It was the Thunder beating us, of course. And, they shot 45% from 3. They were 18 for 40. And they shot 51% from the field. And what's crazy about this game, I didn't even notice this during the recap of this game, but they were 21 for 35 from the free throw line, only 60%. They should have probably had more than 130 points on us. And that was a game they didn't have Al Horford or George Hill. They got 24 from SGA. They got 19 from Darius Bazley. They got 16 from Isaiah Roby. 23 off the bench from Mike Muscala. He killed us in this game. He was 6 for 10 from 3. Right? That was bad. They had 11 off the bench from Hamidou Diallo. So overall, it wasn't like somebody like carrying the team like Luka did yesterday, dropping 44 on us, but they had an even scoring attack. And that was a game where we had 26 off the bench from Anthony, we had 26 from Dame, we had 22 from Melo, we had 22 from Trent. Cantor gave us 13 points, 23 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Phenomenal stat line. 23 boards for Cantor. But we lost the game. Because we gave up 45% from the 3-point line. And they shot a good percentage inside the arc, too. Just overall, our defense was crap. So it's going to come down to the defensive end. Offensively, we've been consistent without CJ, without Nurkic. We've been consistently good still. Because we still have good offensive players. But the defense, I'm not completely sold on defense yet. I can take your questions in chat to end this stream over the next 5 minutes. And we'll end it like that. And then we will end up seeing you guys tomorrow after, hopefully, we beat the Thunder. Mike B says, even with this win streak, no one is going to take us seriously or Dame for MVP if we don't win tonight. I disagree with that. Dame's MVP case is not going to be based off one singular game. Why is it always dark in my room? Because my room light doesn't work and it would look bad anyway. So my lighting is literally just like a lamp. I could point it at me, but it looks weird. Now I'm too bright. Jackson says, IDK, but it feels like we have a game today. I know, I have that same feeling. What's one thing you are looking for tomorrow? Just how we defend the three-point line. I think that'll be the biggest key to the game. Nice hairstyle, thanks. Yeah, you're right, Westbrick. We aren't going to win tonight. Because we don't play. Looks like the sun is in your face. Yeah, I don't know. I need to get like a key light. I need to upgrade the setup. Because I have a DSLR, I need like an adapter cord to plug it in so my camera would be better. And then I need to get a key light. And it would look a lot better. Reese says Blazers should trade for Daniel Gafford. Why do we need another center? I don't know. Like here's the thing. All right. Right now we're kind of thin on center. Harry Giles is out. Nurkic is out. Collins is out, right? But with Nurkic and Kanter back, we have no need for Daniel Gafford. And I'm not one for making trades and giving up legitimate assets to just patch one spot in the lineup for a limited amount of time. Like, it's going to take at least a couple second-round picks to do that, and we don't really have second-round picks. We don't have a first-round pick. I don't even know how we make that trade work, but it would basically be something where, like, okay, well, we trade for him, and he serves a purpose until we get healthy, and then we have no need for him. So he's just like a rental, seems like. I mean, he's a good backup center, but it's like he's not better than Kanter. I don't think he's better than a healthy Collins. I don't think he's better than Nurkic. When are Nurkic and CJ coming back? My guess for CJ would be maybe like March 1st, hopefully. But very possibly after the All-Star break. Nurkic sometime in mid to late March. That's kind of my predictions at this point. Jonathan Isaac, thoughts? I mean, I've always been high on him, and I think he'd be a good fit for this team, but I don't think he's gettable. He just signed a new contract extension, so I think he has a poison pill contract, so it's not going to be easy to trade for. Why is Nas not playing more, especially with Hood out? I don't know. I mean, Stotts has always been kind of bullish on Nas, but with Giles out, Nas is going to get more minutes. Because they're going to have to play Rocco more at center, or Melo more at center. I think Rocco can survive as a small ball center, but you're going to have to play one of your forwards more as the backup center there. So it's going to open up more minutes at the forward spot for Nasir. Do you think Gary will get into the three-point contest? I think he should, but there isn't one this year. Sadly. So I think if there was, he probably would. What's wrong with Giles? He strained his calf. Everybody was freaking out saying Achilles, and it was like, chill. It's a strained calf. Is there one? Oh. Well, that's news to me. I heard that they announced details of the All-Star game, so appreciate the correction, chat. I mean, yeah, I think he should. I think it'd be dope. We'll have to see if he's a good three-point shooter, because some guys struggle and some guys shoot well in it. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, it'd be cool to have Gary Trent Jr. in the three-point contest and Derrick Jones Jr. in the dunk contest. I'll be down for that. Skills before, too. So they're doing the whole thing, then. It's legit. So your opinion on re-signing Gary Trent Jr.? To me, it's a complete must. I mean, you can't let him walk in free agency for nothing. So if you don't want to re-sign him, you got to trade him at the trade deadline. Or you got to re-sign him. Like, the last thing you can do is let him walk in free agency for nothing. Dunk contest at halftime will be so weird. Yeah, it'll be, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it all goes. It's like everything's on one night. Probably going to wrap up this stream. We're going an hour. That's about how long we keep these going. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll be live tomorrow over on the main channel, of course, with the post-game show. Make sure to follow me and Eric on Twitter if you want live tweets during the game. I've been kind of relaxing on those, but, always got to shout out the Twitter. Jose says, "Hey, this is my first Upres Live I've watched." Yeah, there's a lot of people that watch the post-game shows that don't give Blazers Upres Live a chance, so appreciate you tuning in, Jose. We're still chasing 1,000 subscribers over here. We're getting close. Once we get 1,000 subscribers here, we can open up. We can allow people to donate. So that'd be cool. Might have to do something where if you donate, but give a 5-minute window for people to donate before picks against the spread, and anyone who donates can make a pick on a game or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. That's just off the top of my head. Could do something fun with it. All right, Westbrook. Can't hate on Melo during these games, so you stop tweeting. Yeah, totally, bro. Totally. I don't know. I don't like when the team's playing well. There's not as much to tweet about. Whereas if the team's playing bad, it's like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? What the hell was this? What is happening? Like, I will give you that. But anyway, yeah, that's a wrap for Blazers Uprising Live. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you again tomorrow. Until then, hope you stay safe in the snow. If you're driving out in it, it's melting, so that's nice. I've been stuck and stranded, but Connor, I finally got my car out, man. So that was nice to be able to get out of here. Reese says I was right about Schroeder. You know I was right, man. Of course I was right. It's facts. We'll see how he plays without AD. He's gonna have to step up and give him an offensive punch. We'll see if he can do it. But yeah, so we will catch you guys in gals tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday. And until next time, as always, peace out.